All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Genshin 5.6 summary. And boy, oh boy, am I excited for this one, because I've heard a lot of really interesting news about some of the upcoming banners, about some of the upcoming events, some of the upcoming characters, and I decided, why don't we go ahead, give it a look, give our thoughts on the entire thing, and, well, of course, right, compare it to some of the other patches, some of the other updates, some of the other live streams that we've had from other games, and also see how some Hoyoverse creators have reacted to the news as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Starting off with the trailer. Why is it in Japanese? Hey, did they fire Karina? Did they fire Paimon's English VA? Hey, that's kind of... it's in Japanese. All right, I'm all for it. Okay, Windbloom. A film festival in Fontaine. I'm on eating. And I guess that's the new unit, right? I guess that is the new unit. I think it's pretty fair to say, guys, that Genshin's character designs, they've got a bit more Gooter baity, right? If she's a chef, I'm gonna be real, if she's a chef, yeah, that doesn't look safe for the kitchen. That doesn't really look safe for the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be real here, because I'm pretty sure an apron is supposed to cover a lot more than that. Yeah, this is something. This is definitely something indeed, especially after we just got through the release of Orisa. This might be another developer's hidden fetish. A food competition. Yep. I wonder where I've seen a blonde person that participates in food competitions before. Yeah, I wonder where I've seen that. And y'all know what goes on in that. Y'all know what goes on in that anime. I guess she fights too. And she freezes. What an interest. She's not cooking. She's like, I guess that's the thing. Maybe they just didn't want to lead into the whole like Zhang Ling situation where the person that cooks uses fire. I'm kind of just wondering how she cooks using ice. That seems like literally the opposite of cooking. Maybe I'm just like not reading into it correctly, but how do you do that? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This guy just looks, he's got a really interesting design. I think the fact that he's like so teal makes it look a little weird. The fact that he's like so teal makes his outfit just look like a little bit strange. Yeah, no, that's just the same photo. It's actually just the same thing. It's literally the same thing. You can't convince me otherwise. He killed Perry and is now wearing his skin. Nah, bro, it's like the hat is brown. The nose is like, oh, it's everywhere. And why? I mean, maybe this is like the reference patch. Escoffier is gonna be the Shokugeki no Soma, and this guy's Perry the Platypus. It is what it is. All right, guy's got a pistol. Yo, his gun's too small. It seems like a lot of this patch is featured around Fontaine. I remember these dudes from Fontaine. Yep. Okay, bro, are you serious? Am I supposed to read all of that? These guys really put the black screen with white text in Genshin Impact's trailers too? They really put the black screen with white text in Genshin Impact's trailers too? Are you fucking serious, bro? There's no way.
それに俺がフォンテーヌに来た理由を合わせて考えれば例の密輸事件の捜査を逃れたものかもしれない僕の師匠にして母の黄金レインドットさ
Okay, I think that's Albedo.
僕をモンドに向かわせた時ある大きな課題を与えたんだ世界の真相を探せというね
Holy yap, bro. Do they usually talk this much in the trailers? I feel like they usually don't. This seems like a one-off thing to talk this much. Okay, we got some killer trolls having some fun. That's YouTube captions. They're automatically turned on. And these aren't YouTube's captions. I hope you realize that. Genshin Impact provided these captions for the video because they knew it wasn't in English. These are the official captions. So Hoyo decided to put in this gigantic fucking wall of text in there. What do you want them to do? I don't know. Have it play with the audio instead of this gigantic paragraph that they pre-typed into here? It's a bit nitpicky? No, it's not. It just shows that these devs are lazy as shit. Oh, bro's on trial? Oh no!
ホムンクルスが暴走して理性を失い他者を傷つける狂気的な行動に走る魔女会と正式な会談を行うことを願ってるんだあらそんな勇気のある子がまだモンドにいたの
I see why there are some people excited for this patch. I see why some people are excited for this patch because nobody gives a shit about Natlan. Nobody gives a shit about Natlan. And a good part of it is because Natlan was genuinely one of the worst times in the game's history. And when people see Mondstadt, they get reminded of like when the game wasn't dog shit. And so they're excited to go back to, essentially, the time when the game wasn't bad. It's pretty much entirely like nostalgia at this point. And guess what? I feel like a lot of these events that they're having, I don't feel like they're going to have a lot of events in Natlan. I feel like they're not going to have a lot of like these revisits to Natlan. I don't think it's going to happen very often. So this looks like the whole like Hexen Circle thing. New boss? Bro's actually doing some stuff. I guess they had to give us some time in the spotlight because I'm pretty sure this guy has not showed up in a single actual Archon quest. I'm pretty sure this guy's entire lore is actually 100% dedicated to just like limited time events that have already ended. And so if you're like a newer player, I think you have no idea who he actually is. So I wonder how they're going to like implement this shit because they really kind of fucked it up with this guy's implementation. Nuvalette was stabbed? Is that fucking Ornstein and Smog? There's like a fat one. Oh, these. Okay, guys. Yeah, no, that's Ornstein and Smog. I bet if you kill one of them, the other one gets powered up. Unlawful disposal of human remains.
今も近くから聞こえるよ。
なんだ、バルバトスか？
ファルか？
Barca. Okay. I could see why there are some people excited for this one. I see why some people might be thinking this is like the best patch in version 5 just from that trailer. And I'm gonna be real here. I don't know why they spoiled so much of it, because I'm genuinely gonna be honest, saying shit like New Valette got stabbed, saying shit like having the result of the trial spoken out loud, is it necessary to kind of like indicate the whole story and what's gonna happen? Is it kind of necessary to indicate what is going to happen across the entire story, across both of the stories in the patch, across both of them, in the Fontaine as well as Mondstadt, for people to get excited for this one? Actually, no one would play otherwise. I'm certain you can find a different way to drive hype while hiding the key details and just straight up not showing everything. I feel like they should be able to market it in a way that doesn't involve doing that. This seemed excessive. I can definitely tell there was some good in there, but it seemed excessive, 1,000,000%. And the reason why this patch was so good, they got the fuck out of Natlan. And that's why people think it's good. I think that's fair. Let's skip forward a little bit and let's check out the Gunner bait.
Escoffier wields a cryovision and is a powerful addition to freeze-focused teams.
Okay.
Which brings us to one of her talents. Ooh. When Escoffier's elemental skill or elemental burst hits an enemy, she can reduce their resistance to hydro and cryo damage.
Okay.
The more hydro and cryo characters in the party, the greater the reduction.
Okay. So it looks like the enemies here aren't actually frozen, but the resistance reduction still takes effect.
Wait, does she just not freeze them anymore?
Yeah, that's really important. As long as her elemental skill or burst hits an enemy, the reduction takes effect. The enemy doesn't need to be frozen. That means the talent works on bosses and other unfreezable enemies.
Okay, I guess that's good, because imagine if she only worked if they were frozen, and so yeah, she doesn't do anything against bosses. That'd be pretty goofy.
Wow, so it seems like any character that deals hydro or cryo damage can benefit from that talent. I can definitely see her being a powerful support in freeze teams.
True, but Escoffier's not just a support. She can dish out damage as well. With an actual dish.
No way.
Yeah, and when Escoffier unleashes her elemental skill, she summons a cooking mech to the field that follows the active character and periodically fires.
This looks like shit. I'm sorry. This looks fucking stupid. Are they serious? She just summons like a little dish and it shoots out
projectiles at nearby enemies, dealing cryo damage.
Wow.
Are those cupcakes?
So with her ability to shred resistance, she basically buffs her own damage. In addition, her elemental burst restores HP to the entire party.
Incredible. Okay, so she can buff the party, dish out damage, and heal.
I see why everyone says she's a 4-star. What in God's name is that kit? Her effects and her abilities sound good, but like they could have tried when it came to like the animations and the effects. Genuinely, they could have.
Wow, sounds like she's pretty versatile.
Yeah, and thanks to a different talent, she has another ability that really showcases her skills as a chef.
Ooh.
If you hold her elemental skill, the cooking mech she summons can absorb elemental energy and convert it into a delicious dish.
What the fuck? Okay. Was somebody high when they thought about this?
Whoa, I've never seen a talent like that before.
Okay,
Nobody has. Nobody's heard or even thought about this before.
so you don't even have to prepare the ingredients yourself? Bro, that's awesome.
Yeah, and plus, she can produce several kinds of dishes this way.
Well, that will be so fun to check out in game.
Totally. So take note of this next piece of news, travelers. In the first half of version 5.6, we'll have event wishes for Escoffier and Navia.
Okay.
A new 5-star polearm, Symphonist of Sense, will be featured on the weapon banner. Our new 4-star character, Eve.
No, this guy looks stupid. Nah, he just looks dumb. I'm not interested in him. Okay, we'll see like a little bit of what he does.
This is less riding and more.
I'm good. What else do we have in this patch? We got a new boss. I guess we got all the Fontaine quests. They got a new 4-star weapon. An event 4-star weapon. Not bad. I'm pretty sure it's for Aoife, whoever he is. Okay, looks like Aoife's whole event is just going around in Fontaine and then doing all of this shit. Racist pillar boss again? We'll see. They're just playing the entire thing. They're just playing the entire quest. It's been here for like 4 minutes. Oh my god. What is this minigame?
Called Mellow Manor, where they can create a cozy
Oh, go fuck yourself. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm so good. I bet you have... This is just the potion event. You guys remember that potion event? Hey, I bet you have to grow these or like farm them or something. You got to arrange them in a way and yep, you got to make sure you fill up the certain criteria over here. You got to make sure you build up to a certain number of points. Oh, you don't have enough to reach terrestrial life form? You better you got to exit out, buddy, and go grow some other stuff. Apparently, this is a 57 pull patch. I bet like 20 of them are here. And you got to play this shit for like 10 hours. The potion event was like 20 pulls in the patch. It took like 12 hours to complete it. 12 hours of doing this shit, growing it, doing all that stuff. Oh boy. This is a stain on the patch. This is a literal stain on the patch. This whole section over here. It even has the same UI actually. Oh god. It's gonna have like its own like encampment in some part of like Natlan or Fontaine. Oh no. This is the potion event. This is just the potion event all over again. We got reruns. Hey, we got Jacob Takanashi. Hey, he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry to keep you in suspense, travelers. In the second half of
Raiden
version
Shogun.
5.6, we'll have returning events.
Do people still even use this unit? Isn't she just like bad? She can't even clear, right? At C0. Good for electro application. Wow, let me just pull a 5-star unit for electro application. Use her in Hyperbloom. Isn't she just worse than Kuki Shinobu? Because Kuki like does the exact same thing and heals? So she's worse than a 4-star unit. Damn.
Event wishes for Kenichi and the Raiden Shogun.
Nice.
Plus, the Chronicled Wish banner will be returned.
Wow. The Chronicled Wish banner. I guess this one's not predatory though, right? Right? Because there were so many people talking about how the Wuthering Waves one, right? I remember a lot of critiques from certain members of the community saying that the Wuthering Waves one was super predatory. That it was one of like the worst things ever. One of the greediest things that the game has ever done. One of the greediest things that the game had ever done, right? But now we're going ahead and in a patch with, I guess, 57 pulls. 56, 57 pulls. And 12 banners, right? Because there's 2 additional reruns. They have this Chronicled Wish thing on top of it. You guys want to know some details about the Chronicled Wish banner? It has a separate pity. It has a separate pity from Genshin's limited banners. A separate pity. It also, all the pity also expires. The pity also expires after the patch is over. This also only features characters from Inazuma. Units from Inazuma only. While this banner over here is every single limited character the game has ever had. Every single limited character the game has ever had alongside their weapon, aside from the ones that reran last patch. And guess what? The 5-star guarantee count is shared. It is shared in Wuthering Waves. The limited units on the anniversary banner, it's shared with every limited banner in Muwa. The weapons, also shared with every limited weapon. And so even if you don't end up pulling, you don't reach the pity for this one, none of it's wasted. None of it is wasted, and it still goes into your next 5-star in 2.4 or 2.5. If you lose a 50-50 on this banner, right, you can select one. You have a chance, right? You'll get one of these other ones. I think you can also get one of their weapons too. Unfortunately, there's a lot of dog shit on this banner. Frankly, I think the only unit on this banner that isn't complete trash is, I think, Kazuha. I think everyone else on here is like just not good. I'm pretty sure everyone else on here is just a worse version of another unit. Worse than Navia, worse than Kuki Shinobu, never was useful in the first place, worse than Hu Tao and Arlecchino and Mavuika, worse than Child and Nouvelette, worse than Ryosley, and I don't even know, like worse than fucking... worse than Escoffier. So yeah, even losing the 50-50 here, right? And pulling another unit, yeah, they're just all worse. 1,000,000% just worse. And it's crazy. It's actually crazy that there's not a single good unit on here other than Kazuha. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I guess you could lose a 50-50 on here. Get what? An Ayato constellation. And you know what the problem is here, ladies and gentlemen? It would be not bad to have a banner like this if the characters weren't so garbage. But when the devs in Genshin are basically power creeping so much in recent patches, they're power creeping so much in recent patches and making so much of the roster absolutely useless. Yeah, there's only one actual good pull on here. And so losing the 50-50 is just another wasted 5-star on the account. And it's a shame. It's a shame that this is how it gets done. The only W is maybe actually getting one of their weapons. But there's still a lot of garbage weapons on here. There's still a lot of garbage on here. I think Shiori's weapon is bad. Kokomi's weapon is literally called the donut because it doesn't do anything on your account. I guess Thundering Pulse is good. Mist Splitter is good. Freedom Sword is literally worse than a 4-star weapon. And Red Horn is just, it's used to be good. It's just not that good anymore. So a lot of the weapons have been power crept as well. So yeah, I think it's Thundering Pulse and Mist Splitter are actually like the only good ones on here. Maybe Kagura's is okay too. And so yeah, a lot of opportunities for complete trash. That's going to be the banner system. All the problems with it. What else do they have in this event?
Questions and more in the version 5.6 Archon Quest.
Why is the dude like talking about it like a fucking...
In the version 5.4 Archon Quest.
Hide in secret. The logistics captain of the Knights of Favonius, Hertha, seems to have...
Why are they just saying the entire thing?
Yeah, very interesting. He sounds like a very expedition for a fight.
Are they just spoiling the entire thing?
And now there are even more monsters in the city.
Old friends have joined in on the...
Oh, God, I don't even want to do this. This looks like a fucking disaster. This already gave me a headache. I'm sorry. That's already giving... Just looking at this just gave me a headache. I already don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear about it either. I see why they spoiled so much if this is how you gotta go through the quest. Yeah, I would show just the cutscenes too. I would show only the cutscenes too if this is how you have to do the quest. Do I gotta talk to everybody? Do I have to talk to every single person? Oh, no. No skip button. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then... Oh, God.
Fight to defend Mondstadt.
Wow. This is kind of emotional. Mondstadt was... It's the place where travelers met... It's in Christ.
It won't be an easy road.
Well, I guess they're gonna make you play all the dog shit characters with outdated kids. Cool. All right, what's the new boss looking like? Yep, this is Ornstein and Smog, 1,000,000%. That's just Farina.
Trial. The trial takes place on a chessboard, but the rules of chess don't exactly apply. The king. Travelers can use that to their advantage to create an opening and dish out damage. But in the second phase, there are no chess pieces to use. Travelers will need to...
Critico presiding over the second phase.
Quick piece of advice. The boss has some
Continuously trigger frozen.
extremely powerful attacks, but freeze...
Wow, looks like there's another fucking boss in this game where it's like, oh, yep, by the way, if you don't use the unit that you're supposed to, just go fuck yourself. Yep, if you don't use the unit that you're supposed to, just go fuck yourself. Oh boy, I bet Sekapoko is jerking off looking at this right now. I bet Sekapoko is just, he's fucking furiously masturbating after seeing this.
Oh yes, more difficulty! Oh my gosh! More character-limited mechanics! Oh, I love that!
These reactions can help you create an opening.
Maybe jot that one down for later, travelers. So, we know there's murder, an attack on Mondstadt, a Hex and Circle trial of gameplay. The key to success is really understanding your game pieces.
Isn't this just Clash Royale?
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, for example, is it a melee or ranged attack?
This is Clash of Clans? Oh.
Can it quickly break through obstacles?
Okay.
Or maybe... What this event
Okay, this is actually... What the fuck even is this?
really tests?
I see a...
I mean, it's kind of neat, but it's also like... Yeah.
And while your opponent tries to break through your defense, your job is first, or makes great...
Okay.
All right, so...
Okay, I guess they're gonna have some competition stuff in there. Genshin players will be excited for anything except playing Genshin Impact itself. That's why they keep asking for shit like this.
Get tactical, travelers!
Points. Use their abilities to your advantage, and you might be able to turn the tides in your favor.
This looks so fun. You could just stay in Saurian form the whole time and blast all the other players away.
That just sounds toxic.
Nice, bro. So, this next event is called Chronicle of Shifting Stratagems. There's a character...
What is this?
Team constantly
And test out... There are also challenge buffs to take it.
Okay,
Travelers can
one actual battle event. One combat event. There we go.
Perfect excuse.
Card shop, so check it out.
Oh, nobody gives a fuck about this.
Dramatic artistry.
So in addition...
Oh, nobody cares about this.
See you on the other side.
Leyline
travelers.
Overflow, don't care. Oh, I guess they have an event calendar now. Nice job. Woo-Wah did it first, by the way.
Travelers.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Let's jump right.
Quality of life. Guys, devs listen. Devs listened. Let's see how well they listened.
Right into system optimization.
I'm excited.
Some travelers provided feedback that the brilliant blessing enhancement process in the Imaginarium Theatre was a bit confusing, which made it difficult to level up strategically and optimize character turn order.
All right, show us.
So, in the version 5.6 update, the dev team has made the brilliant blessing details page a lot more intuitive.
This is actually not bad. This might actually be one of like the only like not dog shit quality of lives I've ever seen. Because I have played Imaginarium Theater and just the pop-ups just randomly fucking show up.
Which should make it easier for travelers to make strategic level up decisions.
Nice.
Oh, where's the tree? They still just randomly where's the tree? It just randomly shows up.
Yeah, and in addition, rewards will be available for completing the star challenges in the new season of the Imaginarium Theater that begins on June 1st.
You know what would be nice? A restart button after the final act. As it stands right now, finishing the final act takes you directly to the credits, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you just missed that last star challenge? That would be such a bummer.
Yeah, the dev team has received that feedback as well, so a restart button is also being added to the new update.
Devs listen. Devs listen.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
That should make it easier to get full stars. All right, so this next update addresses another common problem. Travelers have probably noticed that when you go to raise a character's skills, the skill descriptions can be pretty long and dense.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable.
Long and dense. Nice
It's
wording.
important for travelers to have all the details. Version 5.6, the descriptions on the talent and constellation pages for new characters will be optimized to be more concise, so it's easier for travelers to grasp the core information.
This is actually not bad.
Of course, travelers who prefer to dive into all the details can always expand the content
How about you just don't make them this long in the first place, though?
for a more comprehensive description.
No.
All right,
It was
treasure
different-
compass.
Yeah, they can. It's space.
Secret spaces as well.
What is it gonna do?
At a high enough exploration progress, more chests from various nations can also be located using the treasure compass.
Oh, nice. That should really help travelers that are stuck at 99% exploration progress.
Okay, great. So just put the loot mapper in the game at this point. Like, you're clearly admitting the treasure compass is complete dog shit. Just put the loot mapper in.
Pins have also been optimized. Starting in version 5.6, travelers can now delete custom pins in batches.
All this is going to do is lead people to accidentally delete all their pins.
Oh, that should make it a lot easier to start fresh if you're someone who really likes to go ham with the markers.
Definitely. Well, that wraps up our system optimizations. So now it's time for some out-of-game news.
All right.
To launch 2
All right,
limited
Gooner bait.
edition.
What else they got? Nothing really good. Yeah, we still don't have loadouts. There's still no skip button for stuff that definitely needs it. They still should probably just add the loot mapper and stuff like that. There's just so much more stuff they could be adding to the game. But I guess the stuff that they put in is not bad, but a lot of it is kind of feeling like stuff that should be there in the first place. Not necessarily like, oh man, this is like the best thing ever. This is like an emergent issue that came up across gameplay that like players discovered and is now being added to the game. A lot of it still feels like, oh yeah, this is just like shit that feels like it should be there in launch. Now let's get into what some Hoyo CCs have thought. That's a crazy frame. That's a crazy frame from Ro. He's looking a little excited. All right, let's see what he thinks about the Chronicled Wish banner.
0.6. I know a lot of travelers have been waiting for that, so check it out if you're interested.
Yeah, you have to. And best of luck on your polls.
Oh my god,
right.
wait, already?
That was a lot of info.
I don't know if he's stun locked or excited.
So let's take our first break.
You see how I just said Kazuha's the only good unit on here? And then Doro just like started moaning after he saw Kazuha. He agrees as well. Everyone else on this banner is completely fucking useless. Everyone else on this banner is completely useless. Even he knows too.
Here's the second redemption code, travelers.
Oh my god, wait. Guys, my F2P account. I'm at 58 pity in a dream.
There you go. There you go. Now let's get Bran on lines. Thoughts on the matter.
Plus, the Chronicled Wish banner will be returned.
Did bro just start picking his nose? Wait, did bro just start picking his nose while the Chronicled Wish banner came up? What is that? Bro doesn't care. Bro doesn't. He's just going. Mint isn't brain offline. You guys are saying I'm like overreacting, guys. I'm literally reading the chat. Like people are saying shit like brain is actually offline. Chat summary. Viewers are commenting on the streamer's gameplay in the recent controversial video. The character brain offline. Viewers are discussing. Viewers are divided on a streamer called Brain Offline. Some find his recent behavior picking his nose during live stream unacceptable, while others are defending him. Why is the AI saying it like that, bro? Viewers are reacting to a streamer who is digging inside his nose holes. Ranging from amusement to concern for their health. The AI joined in on the humor, calling the streamer brain offline and saying he's digging for primo gems? Dude, this AI needs to stop. I don't even feel like it's AI anymore. I feel like it's a real person. Viewers are finding humor in a streamer who was nose picking while streaming. The AI joined in on the joke, and the chat is speculating whether the streamer will do an oiled up Chang Li cosplay. Okay, they need to control this thing. All right, they need to control this thing. They need to control that thing. That's pretty much just unacceptable.
Inazuma Chronicled.
I know a lot of travelers have been waiting for that, so check it out if you're interested.
Inazuma Chronicled.
And best of luck on your polls.
It's about time.
All right. That was a lot of info, so let's take our first break. Here's the second redemption code, travelers.
Okay, so very lukewarm reaction by him. I can tell he's not very excited by those units either. So yeah, I mean, we can clearly see, right, that there's not a lot in terms of like the other events going on in the patch, and most people are excited about the story. I think that Hoyo is really banking on nostalgia over here. I think they're really banking on where they've done a good job with some of the regions, and where they've clearly done a really bad job in others, like Natlan. And again, they're banking on the success, the nostalgia of Mondstadt, and they're banking off the success of Fontaine to drive a lot of the excitement for this patch. And unfortunately, right, I think the end result is that a lot of people are going to be disappointed several days into the patch, right? Where they'll like bum rush the story, they'll get all of that stuff done, and then there's not really going to be a lot of game left for them to do, aside from like unrelated minigames that aren't even a part of like Genshin Impact as a whole. We saw like Clash of Clans and like all that other stuff, right? And for me, it's just like, it is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, I mean, it just seems like another Genshin patch, aside from a story that people are interested in because they feel like they've been edged since the release of the game to get that story finished. And I think it is going to be a little bit, but we'll see. I'll give credit where credit is due. There's some okay stuff in here, but I do think that there's a lot of garbage as well. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.